Tonight from Tropicana Field, two of the best 25-year-old arms in baseball square off. For Tampa Bay, lefty David Price, looking to build on his great performance from last time out. And Cincinnati counters with right-hander Johnny Cueto, who's given up just one earned run in his last three starts. Another interleague showdown on Sun Sports. The 15th season of Major League Interleague Baseball continues tonight. Fans on their way into the ballpark at Tropicana Field. This will be game 2 of the series between the Rays and the Cincinnati Reds. Welcome to an evening of Rays baseball. Hi again, everyone, with Brian Anderson. I'm Dwayne Stats. Good to have you looking in. We'll be hearing from Todd Callis throughout the evening as well. The Rays are trying to find the winning side of the ledger here tonight. In fact, they're trying to find a way to score a run after last night's shutout. And with that in mind, they're going to send David Price to the mound, hoping that he can tame this Cincinnati lineup.
Yeah, in one of those games that you really want to win, you want to send one of the big boys, and that's David Price. And you knew, after 2 subpar outings against Baltimore and Boston, you knew that he was going to come out and be aggressive in his last start, make somebody pay for it. That happened to be Milwaukee, and that's exactly what he did. You see the line, the 10 strikeouts in 8 innings. That's the 3rd time double-digit strikeouts this year. But what he did was he came out aggressive with the fastball early, established that, and then started to sprinkle in the off-speed pitches and really dominated that Brewer lineup.
Yeah, speaking of good fastballs, Johnny Cueto is going to be on the mound for the Cincinnati Reds. He has a chance to be one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. Spent a little time on the disabled list, so he's made only 9 starts.
Yeah, and Johnny Cueto, you're exactly right. Missed some time, comes back. He's a guy, he's going to feature a power fastball. He'll cut it, a power slider that he loves to use to put guys away, and a change-up to go along with it. You see what he's done in his last 3 starts. I mean, 1 earned run in 21 innings, the opponent's average of 155, and really that's been the theme for him. This is not just a hot run. In those 9 starts, he's 5-2 with a 1.63 earned run average, so this is no fly-by-night. This is a great pitching matchup.
There is tonight's matchup, brought to you by Coventry Healthcare. Cueto with a mark of 5-2 and that 1.63 earned run average. David Price looks for victory number 9. He is 8-6 with a 351. Price out there for the 17th time in a starting role. Rays have never beaten the Cincinnati Reds. They're 0-7 through the years against them, dropping last night's first game of this series. It's been a season of streaks for Zorilla. And Todd Callis will take a look at his latest streak, that of 2 base hits.
Cincinnati Reds tonight. Tropicana Field, the site for the middle game of a 3-game set. Nobody in baseball has more doubles than Ben Zobrist. He added 2 more to that list last night. The Rays added 3 other doubles. They had 5 doubles in their shutout loss to the Cincinnati Reds. And here you see Ben with 27 to lead MLB. Zobrist continues to hit the ball and use all parts of the field. Last night with those 2 doubles, unfortunately, he was unable to score. The Rays were unable to get any runs across against Mike Leake and 2 relievers. For Ben, though, been a solid stretch here, including a streaky year. First 20 games, 183, 7 runs batted in. Then you've got a 403 stretch. Remember when he had those 10 RBIs in that one game in Minnesota. Next 14, though, back the other way, 125 average and just 3 runs batted in. Last 25, back up, 323, 10 runs batted in. He continues to lead the team in runs scored. And we caught up with Ben Zobrist with our Geico quote of the game, talking about all those doubles this year.
It's been nice to get some, drive some balls a little bit more. Hopefully, that'll continue, and that'll be something that will turn into some more home runs too, which can produce runs even a little quicker than doubles. So, but as long as I'm getting on base, the guys behind me have been hitting me in quite a bit this year. So I've been scoring a lot of runs for our team, and that's what matters in winning ball games.
Been swinging the bat a lot better, and again, I think he's laying off some bad pitches. All our guys, every hitter in baseball, if you're organizing your strike zone, you're going to hit to your abilities. When you start to chase pitches outside of the strike zone, pitchers love that, and that's when you don't hit well. Everybody wants to make it a mechanical issue. It's more of a mental issue. Organize your strike zone, swing at strikes, take balls. You can be a pretty good hitter.
And Ben Zobrist continues to lead the team in runs scored with 52, also leads them in walks with 38. And that's what Joe Madden was talking about, organizing the strike zone. Guess what? It's time for a little baseball. Dwayne Stats, Brian Anderson with all the action in high definition next.
Tonight is brought to you by AT&T. By Autoway. Autoway is part of AutoNation, the largest automotive retailer in the country. So we can do big things. And by Tires Plus. The plus is in everything we do. Rays home for Game 2 of this 3-game series against Cincinnati. The St. Louis Cardinals will be in over the weekend as interleague play continues throughout the homestand. And we'll take a look at Dusty Baker's lineup. Chris Heisey's going to lead it off, followed by Brandon Phillips and then Joey Votto. Scott Rowland will hit cleanup. Jay Bruce is in right field. Johnny Gomes, the DH. Ramon Hernandez will hit 7th and catch. Drew Stubbs in center, and Edgar Renteria, the veteran shortstop, bats 9th.
Now making the start tonight for the Rays is left-hander David Price. It'll be his 17th start of the season. 8-6 record, 3.51 on the earned run average, coming off a very good outing in Milwaukee. Went 8 innings, gave up 2 earned runs, struck out 10.
So Price set to go to work in the first pitch is a fastball up and away. So we're underway right on time here at 10 minutes past the hour. Heisey swings and misses the fastball that time. Chris Heisey in there leading off. And he's a guy the Reds can play in all 3 outfield spots and at different spots up and down the lineup. Fouls it back, and the count is 1-2. And there's Dusty Baker, the Cincinnati Reds skipper. He's got that toothpick, rumored to be a mint flavored toothpick. It's up and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And you can tell he's a pro with it too, because he'll flip it. I mean, I do that, and all I end up doing is just, getting it stuck in there like some prehistoric T-Rex. You throw a log in there.
Now you see it, now you don't.
There
Here
you
it
go.
is again. Heisey is out on strikes. An indecisive swing for the strikeout. Even the bobblehead comes not only with a toothpick, but apparently a year's supply.
Yes. Got a little toothpick holder, got the wristbands, very lifelike. The glasses.
Dusty did that for a very good reason. There's a lot of guys who use tobacco, and he started that as a way to try to get away from that. Brandon Phillips. The pitch is down, a ball and no strikes.
Well, you saw in that strikeout to Heisey, David Price coming out aggressive with that fastball. That is when he is at his best, is when he establishes that pitch early and then moves on to the off speed.
The pitch a little wide, but he did offer. That's Angel Hernandez down at first base and saying Phillips did indeed offer. Take another look. It's pretty close, and whether it's his birthday or not, and it happens to be his 30th birthday, Angel Hernandez not giving him any slack at all. Fly ball toward the line and right, and Matt Joyce is there. 2 up, 2 down.
Well, let's take a look at the Rays defense. Left to right in the outfield, Sam Fuld, B.J. Upton, and Matt Joyce. Across the infield, third to first, Evan Longoria, Reed Brignac, Ben Zobrist, and Casey Kochman. John Jaso gets the call behind the plate. Tonight's Rays defense brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the Sweet Spot.
Two up, 2 down. Here's Joey Votto. And a first pitch strike into him. Well, he either leads every department or is among the league leaders, it seems, in every offensive category in the National League. He takes strike 2. He leads the league in on-base percentage. He's walked more than anybody else in the National League. 5th in the league in hitting. And he's hitting .375 against left-handed pitching. But he's out on 3 pitches, a fastball and a call. 3rd strike, 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the first. Fastball with something extra right there. is going to have Johnny Damon atop his lineup tonight. The DH spot. Zobrist, Longoria, then Joyce, Kochman, and Upton. Jaso, Fold, and Brignac.
Now making the start for the Reds, his 10th of the year, right-hander Johnny Cueto. Here he is.
And the first pitch is a strike. Back to you.
Speed announcing. 9 starts so far, 1 complete game. Very good, Johnny Cueto. A little back turn. Watch this little deception. Power fastball. He will cut it. He'll throw a slider, changeup. Missed April in the first week of May with a little right biceps irritation, but he has been outstanding since coming back.
Damon pops it up, a foul ball. Rollins after it, and he makes a basket catch in front of the Cincinnati dugout. How you like that, fellas?
Last guy I saw do that was named Willie Mays Hayes, and he got in trouble by his manager. I don't know how necessary that was,
right
but
there in front of his
out
teammates.
number 1. Yes, he did. Little basket catch. It's like he's fielding a punt.
Billy Hatcher had something to say. How unusual is that?
He said, "Don't ever do it again."
What is that? He says. One strike the count. The Ben Zobrist. Billy Hatcher, longtime member of the Rays coaching staff here. 1-1. Here's Hatch. Zobrist now hitting .271. Pitch is down. You can see the exaggerated turn by Cueto, a la Louis Tion. That's something that he's done a little bit more of recently.
Well, it creates great deception. You turn your back to the hitter, and then all of a sudden it's a spin, and here it comes.
It's fouled straight back.
The only danger in that is much like we saw with James Shields last year. You know, when he would start to over-rotate, you can really start to get rotational. You really got to square yourself up as you're going to the plate and continue to drive to home plate with your pitches before you spin off. So
yeah,
there is some small margin for error.
Well, you really got to work to get yourself back to where you want to be to stay on top of a pitch like that. You can see that in that delivery. Full count here to Zobrist.
Yeah, it's very easy as you spin back here to get around the baseball. There's a lot going on there.
Cueto 5'10", a little bouncing ball right side. Cueto's going to have to cover. Zobrist hustling down the line, and Cueto got that foot in there, taking the throw from Votto.
Now let's take a look at the Reds' defense. Left to right in the outfield, Chris Heisey, Drew Stubbs, and Jay Bruce. Across the infield, third to first, Scott Rowland, Edgar Renteria, Brandon Phillips, and Joey Votto. Ramon Hernandez once again behind the plate. Tonight's Reds defense is brought to you by Sweet Bay Supermarket, home of the Sweet Spot.
Base is empty, 2 outs, and Evan Longoria is going to be the hitter. Takes a look at a pitch wide. Watch that play with Zobrist hustling down the line, and Cueto just did get there.
Yeah, the little lob throw there to Votto, and I mean just in time, a half a step. That play a lot closer than it should have been.
1-1 the count to Evan. Down to third. Rowland makes a perfect throw. The Rays are up and down 1-2-3. On to the second. No score.
times.
Well, we go to the second inning. Two strong arms here. The lefty Price, the right-hander Cueto. 11 pitches for Price in the first inning, all fastballs. And 12 pitches for Cueto in the first inning, 11 fastballs. And all of the hard stuff between 93 and 97 in the first inning from these two guys.
Man, those makes fun games to watch. A lot of power.
And there's a fastball taken for ball one. Scott Rowland leads it off. Bruce and Gomes to follow.
Both of these pitchers do not shy away from the hitter. It is straight attack mode.
And there's a strike. Another fastball. It's 1-1. Price starting this game 5th in the American League in strikeouts with 104. He's added 2 to that. 2 strikeouts in the first. We got Heisey swinging and missing on a fastball, and Votto looking on a fastball away at 97. Joe West is behind the plate tonight, and Joe, from the time he broke in back in 1976 at the tender age of 23, has always had a nice strike zone for a pitcher. And Rowland didn't like that call, I think. But Joe is consistently going to give the corners to pitchers.
Well, we saw that on a couple of these strikeouts by David Price. The one on Votto, this one to Rowland. I mean, that is a good pitch.
Yeah, that's just a perfect pitch.
It is a perfect pitch. And that's where David Price cannot be touched, when he's able to keep the ball away and down. Down and away. Of course, that's good for every pitcher, that goes without saying. But for David Price, the hitters have no chance.
96 and a called strike on that fastball to Jay Bruce.
You know, when we talk about David Price coming out and establishing the fastball, this is not what we're talking about. Like, you don't throw the first 20 fastballs. But you do come out and you do use it regularly, and you do establish it to both sides of the plate.
Well, he just threw a slider.
Well, he hurt us.
Yes. Hurt you.
I don't even have my microphone on.
1-1 the count here to Bruce. And a swing and a miss. Nice easy swing on a 96-mile-per-hour fastball.
Because when we've seen David Price get into trouble this year, it has been when he has gone away from his fastball and started to hang some breaking balls and get too...
Swing and a miss. Up to 97. That's 4 strikeouts. He struck out 4 of the first 5 men to face him.
I was going to say, get too heavy into the off-speed stuff, something that he's not doing so far in this ball game. Here, that fastball not in the perfect location, but look at the velocity on it. Just challenges him.
Strong arms.
Right around the belt, absolutely.
You want him? We got him tonight.
Yeah, these are the matchups that you really, really get excited for.
Now Johnny Gomes. Gomes homered here last night. He was 1 for 3 officially. And he takes a pitch down, a fastball. So Price again at 97. He's hit that mark 3 or 4 times already tonight. And there's a strike at 97. 1-1.
I think David Price, too, you know, he thinks of himself, hey, as one of the leaders of this pitching staff. And after the performance last night, where all around the team was very sloppy, he wants to set the tone right now.
And a strike again, this one at 98.
Here another power plus fastball right in the corner. And look where those 3 pitches are.
Foul ball and a pitch at 98. So back-to-back pitches of 98. The count is still 1-2.
Get it started early tonight, gentlemen.
And boy, you talk about great location in this sequence of pitches to Gomes. One, two, and Gomes pops it up right side. Kochman into foul territory, now back, and that ball is still fouled just outside the line to retire the side, and that pitch hit 98. 4 strikeouts in the game, 2 in this inning. We're through an inning and a half, no score.
Half of the second inning, principal owner Stuart Sternberg joins us here as we watch a little baseball. So far, so good on the pitching matchup we were expecting.
Yeah, sometimes these things don't turn out perfectly, but this has got it's got off to a nice start.
We don't always see the Cincinnati Reds as Johnny Cueto will deliver to Matt Joyce to start the inning, but the Reds in town and the Cardinals after the All-Star break, the Red Sox and Yankees, some pretty good, attractive opponents here at Tropicana Field.
Yeah, well, it's nice that you get the Reds in here. It's a little bit different. Same color, which I don't care for, but I have a lot of Reds fans on the side wearing red here tonight. But yeah, from here right on through to the All-Star break and afterwards, we've got we've got some big drawers coming in. And it's going to be exciting to see.
I know you're excited about the fact that attendance isn't quite where you'd like it to be the first half, but here comes some bigger name teams and. Price-wise, you can't beat this place, right?
Thank you. Yeah, it's we haven't had much Yankee or Red Sox in. I mean, the Red Sox were in recently, and we were at about 20 a game, which was a good deal under what we had anticipated. But I do think we'll do quite a bit better for the next time in. And as you said, we actually did get something with the second most affordable team in baseball.
Yeah, that's something you want to brag about, right?
That's exactly right. Look, it's tough. I understand. It's never easy to go out and spend any money and do anything. When you've got to reach into your pocket sometimes. I understand. And we don't have a belief or expectation people are going to be here night after night. They're following us on TV, but we try to make it as affordable as we can. And it's nice to be recognized by ESPN, a standard bearer in a sense for sports, that we're doing something extremely right in that area.
Cueto strikes out Matt Joyce to start off the inning, and here's Casey Kochman. You said at the beginning of the season when you joined us, you were hoping at some point during the season to have some progress with the potential of a new stadium, and where do things stand? I know there is a little bit of movement in terms of the two sides of the bay getting together.
Yeah, like any time you see people talking, it's a good thing. Just about a year ago, I spoke a little bit about our need to explore all the sites in the region, how I wanted to. Sorry, just watching the pitches here.
Want to call it?
No.
All right, fly ball to center field. There's 2 away.
Little Louis Tion back to the bat, I think.
Yeah.
It was really about just trying to say we'd like to explore the area, and that was it. To try to get that done and focus on the baseball and our team and our business here and getting it done right. And it's nice to see some of the business leaders and political people. Community leaders coming together and seeing that there is a genuine need to try to fix the situation a little bit. We stayed out of it. We're remaining out of it. But as you point out, just from what I've read, even in the papers, no more or less than anybody else, the people from both sides of the Bay are talking. And I do think that over the course of the next 5, 10, 20 years, that's something that's going to be important for the whole region as we tackle a lot of the major issues that we face.
DJ Upton hits one to right. That's going to do it. Hey, I wanted to ask you about realignment. I promise you a half an inning. Can he stay for one out in the next inning?
At least.
All right, guys, we'll have Stuart Sternberg when we come back. Right now, scoreless as we are through 2 innings, the Reds and the Rays. Baseball, Reds and the Rays scoreless as we rejoin Stuart Sternberg, principal owner of the Rays. We wanted to talk about a couple topics we didn't get to. What about realignment? We're hearing the possibilities of something happening, and even with the Rays in the mix, what do you know?
Well, we've been involved with baseball, trying to take a look at balanced schedules, how the scheduling goes. Specifically, there was a point, I don't know exactly where we are today, but a day ago, we're the third best record in the American League, and we're sitting firmly in third place. So, as I said to somebody earlier, it's a movie we've seen before. The good part of that is that the Red Sox and Yankees in particular, and other teams, sense that as well. So, the Red Sox or Yankees don't like finishing with the third best record and finishing in third place either. So, as far as realignment, we're getting, come on, Joyce, there you go.
At Joyce retires Ramon Hernandez. We got a long time to talk here, huh?
It's a 1-2 pitch at bats, although it looks like it's going to be a pizza night here tonight. David. So it's interesting. We at the bottom of the heap sort of have been pushing for realignment. Any change is really to our benefit. There's a real cost to us because of the fans of the Yankees and Red Sox bring in, and Yankee and Red Sox fans themselves coming in. But recognizing that relative to what it does for us, for the chances not just to, at the end of the year, not have to win 96 games or 5 games to make the playoffs potentially, and also not have to play those guys 36 times a year. And I'm not to slight the Blue Jays or Orioles at all, but clearly to have to go against them 36 times when most or any other teams outside of our division don't have to do it. It costs us a few games as well. So we're looking for it, and I do have a sense that they probably don't necessarily want to be together either, because they tend to beat each other's brains in a little bit and have to compete each other in those years that we tend to sneak in, or the Blue Jays or somebody else. It makes it tougher for them to make the playoffs.
Final thing is Drew Stubbs has a 1-2 count. A month from now, you're going to have to make a decision. Will the Rays be buyers or sellers? How much of that Yankee series leading into the All-Star break, and then Yankees and Boston coming out of the break, as Price picks up his 5th strikeout, you're right, could be a pizza night. How much do those series really determine what you're going to do?
Well, every game is obviously important. You lose a game last night, it's not a throwaway. We've got to make sure we win every game. Knowing it's baseball, you can't. The games against the Red Sox and Yankees, assuming those are the teams at this point we've separated a little bit from the pack to compete against, they count double. And when you know, it's nice when they play each other because one of them loses, but on the other hand, one of them wins too. And we, as a fan, we go through it, and we all try to, which team do we root for, which team we root against, and we play those games. And but when we play them, we have a chance to do double sort of damage, and it's important that we fare really well in those games. So clearly, what's going to happen in this run between, not getting past just the interleague, but that run of, what do we have, I guess 10, 11 games against the two teams, could, not necessarily will, chances are we'll, 6-5, 5-6, and it's not going to change everything. But if we're unfortunate and things go wrong, it could push things a little bit in one direction. And if things go really well, it'll help push things in the other. But, we're looking at it already. I mean, the sooner you can make a decision and have the opportunity to add somebody, you have an extra month or 6 weeks of that player.
Johnny Cueto and David Price allowed us almost to talk for a full inning in less than 5 minutes. Thank you, Stu.
We'd almost finished the job. It's my pleasure, and thanks everybody for tuning in and coming out to the park. All
right, guys. Stuart Sternberg watching a little Reds and Rays. Back to you.
And we'll be right back to the Todd Callis Hour following this next pitch, providing it's the final pitch of the inning. Liner into center. Caught by BJ. 2.5. No score.
In tonight's game and all season long, Tires Plus will donate $100 to the Pediatric Cancer Foundation for every Tampa Bay Rays home run televised on Sun Sports and Fox Sports Florida.
John Jaso is going to open the bottom of the third for the Rays, facing Johnny Cueto. The first pitch is a strike, ball next, and then Brignac. No base runners yet in this game. The first 9 Cincinnati Reds have been retired, and the Rays have gone down in order in each of the first 2 innings. Number 2, speed pitch there.
Yeah, changeup by Cueto. He's got a pretty good one. Uses it primarily against the left-handed hitters. More of the fastball slider against the righties.
It's a 2-strike count to the Rays catcher. Interesting conversation between Todd and Stu Sternberg about the realignment situation. This pitch is down. We've heard a lot about the possibility of 2 15-team leagues with a team moving one way or another. And one of the rumors, we talked about it briefly when we were in Houston, is that Houston club may join the American League, which would then divide into 3 5-team divisions. That pitch is inside 2-2. There was other conversation about the Maybe the Rays somehow finding their way into the National League. There are all kinds of equations that they could work out. A line drive caught by Renteria. And one interesting thought would have the Rays, the Marlins, the Braves, the Astros, and the Texas Rangers all in the same division.
Well, regionally, that absolutely works. I mean, you've got your Texas teams up through Georgia and then Florida. What I find interesting about this whole thing is there hasn't been a whole lot of blowback on the two 15-team divisions where they would, where it almost would be radical realignment, where you would really change it up and go, go in that, that direction. And it's almost like, whether it's the commissioner's office or whether it's a joint venture with the Players Association, it's almost like you throw it out there as a trial balloon. You see how much blowback do you get, how much negativity, and then maybe that does become a viable option. And really, I haven't heard anything negatively said about it. I mean, there are a lot of baseball purists out there that probably would not want to see that. But overall, the blowback has not been that harsh. And that certainly, the division that you were just talking about, makes a lot of sense because of the proximity of everybody.
Well, it'll be fun to watch that. I guess Bud Selig has to lead that charge, but certainly the Players Association would have a lot to do with that in terms of signing off on it. And I think the idea that they could get another team into the playoffs, I think that's good from the commissioner's office, and it's good from the Players Association point of view as well. 3-2 the count to Sam Fuld. One out with the bases empty. Sam hitting .238 starting this game. And he becomes the first base runner of the contest, drawing a one-out walk. Well, I'll tell you one guy, and Stu was talking about competing in the American League East. There they were 44-34, as he said, comfortably in third place, fighting New York and Boston. One guy who has a lot of respect for the life that the Rays live in the American League East. I was talking with Dusty Baker before the game, the Reds skipper. They're playing the American League East now. And he says, I'm telling you, this is a tough division to compete in. He knows just how tough it is after seeing it firsthand. They lost the series to the Yankees 2 out of 3. They lost 2 out of 3 to Baltimore. And they lost 2 out of 3 to the Blue Jays. And this is a team that, as we saw last night, they have some firepower and some pretty good arms on their pitching staff. 1 ball, no strikes, the count to Reed Brignac. How about this? What if you broke up the Yankees and the Red Sox out of the same division?
I don't think they'd ever do that. Yeah, I mean, I think the Yankees. Well, I think they need to be together as far as baseball. I mean, yeah, that would be a tough one. You could pull off, I think, radical realignment before you could take the Yankees and Red Sox away from each other.
Do you think that those two clubs would push for that because they think they could win the division every year, competing in another division, and they wouldn't have to beat up on each other?
Well, here's the thing. I think
they might push for it from that point of view.
But I think that if you took a playoff team away, if you did away with the wild card, they may push for that. But if you add a playoff team, I don't think they're going to care because they're going to look at themselves as the class of whatever division they're in anyway.
There goes the runner. The pitch swung on and missed, and now Fuld is caught between first and second in a rundown. And finally, he'll be tagged out. Renteria tagged him. So Fuld, who didn't get a very good break, just stopped and found himself caught between first and second base and was eventually tagged out by Renteria. So it goes 2-6, 3-4-6. The shortstop Renteria over by first base tags him out.
Well, Sam Fuld, yeah, he took off there. Obviously, he can't anticipate the throw. But the throw there by Hernandez, I mean, when it left his hand from that center field view, that ball was tailing off to the right field towards that right center, way offline on the throw. Now he can't anticipate that, and he thought that he had a bad enough jump. He needed to stop and get in a rundown. But that didn't work out too well either.
Renyak misses the fastball. That one in at 96. So the Rays are out in the third. We head to the fourth. No score. Not much offense with these two guys, Price and Cueto, going at it. Time for our AT&T trivia question. Who's the last remaining active player from the original Tampa Bay Devil Rays team? That's our AT&T trivia question of the night. And very appropriate, I might add. Well, 3 perfect innings for David Price to start this game, and so as we go to the fourth, it'll be Chris Heisey. He struck out on a fastball to start the game. Goes after the fastball this time, lifting it into center. P.J. Upton is there. 1 away, and so that's 10 in a row retired by David Price.
Well, you know what? David Price is saying, hey, I'm throwing the ball better this year than I did last year. However, the results aren't there as far as, as good as they were last year. Look at this from not big difference in the numbers. The average 12 points off. Look at the walks. He's cut the walks in half. The ERA, though, over a run higher. You say, how can that be? I mean, all the numbers very similar. How about that? Runners in scoring position. The average last year, 12 out of 84 was 143. This year, 26 out of 85. 306. I mean, when you look at David Price's numbers from last year to this year, the team average, the team record is 11-5 last year in the 16 starts. This year it's 10-6. Everything is very similar with innings pitched. The batting average is in the same ballpark. You see all those numbers, and then you see the walks have been cut in half. You say, how in the world can that ERA be, over a run higher? And that has been it. Has not been as clutch.
Well, the question about that is 2 strikes here to Phillips. Is that an aberration with runners in scoring position, or is the approach different in some way with men in scoring position?
It's funny because I had the same conversation when we were creating Movie Magic this afternoon with pitching coach Jim Hickey, and we were talking about that. And I brought that stat up too.
You did a great job of producing that independent film.
That's
another story.
Little directing too. Yeah. It was fun.
So what did you find from Jim Hickey?
Well, he asked the same thing. He said that'd be interesting to look at. Now, was last year just so low at 143 that was an anomaly, and this year a little bit too high?
The roller to short. Renyak right there, and he throws a strike to Kochman. 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, I mean, is it somewhere really in the middle? I mean, 306 is awfully high for David Price with runners in scoring position. 143, maybe a little bit low over the course of 16 starts. So maybe it's somewhere in the middle, but you're right. That's the other question he asked. What was his approach? What kind of hits are these? Are they little dribblers? Are they bloop shots? There's a lot of questions to be asked there. However, when you see, basically 14 more hits and just one more at bat this year with runners in scoring position, I'm going to say it's approach.
There's something predictable about
that's right.
happening.
That's right.
Swing and a miss by Joey Votto. Votto was called out on strikes his first time on a pitch that he thought was a little off the plate wide. One of 5 strikeouts recorded by David Price. This one is fouled back, and it's 0-2. Well, we'll have to delve a little deeper into that situation, and we'll see what happens with Price tonight. Both these pitchers have been right on target in regard to what we thought we might see. 2 young, strong arms, the lefty Price, the right-hander Cueto.
I was doing the looking through those stats because I'm like, what is the difference? And you're going down through every one. Innings pitched are within 2 2/3 innings. Everything's about the same. And then all of a sudden it was like I felt like Indiana Jones finding the Ark of the Covenant. Like, wow, that's a big stat.
Swing and a miss. He got Votto chasing the fastball right there at 97. 3 up, 3 down, 12 straight. We go to the home half of the 4th, and Johnny Damon's going to lead it off. Top of the order up, and it's time to get the answer to our AT&T trivia question, looking for the last remaining active player from the original 1998 Tampa Bay Devil Rays team. And the answer to that is, there he is, Miguel Cairo. He's still only 36 years old. He's been a utility infielder for a number of clubs, and he's got a lot of playing time left.
Very good hitter as far as working.
Here's Damon on a 1-0 pitch, hitting it deep to right and gone. Johnny Damon hits his 9th home run of the year, and the Rays take the lead. That's the only hit of this ball game. A 1-0 pitch, and Damon sends it into the seats in right, and the Rays lead 1-0.
Well, after watching 3.5 innings of absolute dominance by these 2 pitchers, Johnny Damon gets a mistake out over the plate in a favorable count. Can look for that fastball there, and you see Ramon Hernandez, that glove coming back across the plate. That a lot of times signals bad things for the pitcher.
Swing and a miss by Zobrist on the first pitch. Strike 1. He had Zobrist out in front of a changeup. Well, just 2 away from the splendid splinter. Ted Williams with 2,654 career hits, and That's 2,652 now for Johnny Damon. 1-1 to count to Zobrist. And a bouncer foul that's headed to the dugout. Well, Damon's second home run of the month. His other one came on the road in Baltimore off the left-hander Mattis. He gets the right-hander Cueto on a fastball that he turned around. Another look at that home run.
Well, the thing about Johnny Cueto, he loves to pitch inside. He's very aggressive and loves to pitch in. The problem with that is you had better be pinpoint, or you're going to leave some pitches out over the plate.
There's a chop right to Renteria. He was shaded towards second. And Zobrist is out at first base. One away. It was the fifth home run allowed by Cueto in right around 65 innings. You know, left-handed hitters, I mean, no one's really hitting much against them. The opposition 193, right-handers 206, and lefties 181 coming into this game against Cueto.
Well, that's because of that good power fastball that he'll force in there, but also that cutter.
Evan fouls that pitch. Well, you talk about a fastball pouring in on you. Right there was a good example. Longoria went out third to first his first time, and boy, more than ever it seems as Longo goes, so go the Rays. And look at the difference there in Longo's production in Rays wins and Rays losses.
Yeah, that's an amazing discrepancy. And really, it's almost the same amount of games. Those wins, 26, 23 losses. And it is all or nothing with Evan Longoria. And that's why everybody was so encouraged with what he did in Houston. Really went off in that series. And
well, and so much of his production has been on the road.
Yeah.
And there's the breakout right there. Only 3 runs batted in at home, and 2 of those on home runs. And you look at the breakout, 190 at home and 294 on the road. He is 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position at home.
Yeah, I mean, look at the RBIs. 30 of the 33 on the road, really?
Yep. Ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He's out on strikes. 2 gone.
And that's what makes Johnny Cueto's slider so devastating. It's not just he's got good speed on it, good break, but it's that down. Watch this. This thing just bottoms out. I mean, that is a nasty put-away slider. A lot of depth on that slider, and that's why with 2 strikes, that is his favorite pitch.
Bases empty, 2 outs following the leadoff homer by Damon. A swing and a miss by Joyce, and Matt out in front of that pitch. He struck out on a slider his first time up. 2. Got one right there. Three strikeouts for Cueto. Put up a walk. Rays lost that base runner. Riding down and in. A ball, 2 strikes. Cueto coming off his outing against the Yankees. That was Wednesday. He was scheduled to pitch yesterday and was given an extra day because of a stiff neck. And he strikes out Joyce. He stayed with the changeups and the sliders, and that whole sequence to Matt Joyce strikes him out. The Rays hit the first run of the ball game on the only hit of the game so far. Johnny Damon makes it 1-0. look at the upcoming race schedule brought to you by Just for Men Hair Color. Day game tomorrow. We'll be with you at 11:30, the wrap-up game of the series against the Reds. Cardinals in starting Friday night. As we look forward to the upcoming race schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. Scott Rowland stepping in here to open the fifth. Pitch is fouled out of play. That's a strike. The 0-1 lifted into short right. Here comes Matt Joyce on to make the catch. Well, let's see. That is 45 pitches for David Price. How about this? He's thrown 43 fastballs out of 45 pitches.
Aggressive works for David Price. That's just the bottom line. Maybe not to that percentage, but aggressive. That's the kind of pitcher he is.
And here is Jay Bruce. The pitch is down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. And he is throwing a lot of strikes tonight. Two and 0. Rowland retired. Bruce up here with Gomes on deck. And a fly ball down the right field line. That ball is going to be a foul ball. Well, it started to get close to that 322 marker down there. It is just foul.
Right off the short wall of Papa John's bullpen box. Right off of a folding chair behind the short wall.
So the count goes to 2-1. As you know, Price has allowed 9 home runs, but the only one to a left-handed hitter, Curtis Granderson, comes back with a strike, and the count is 2-2. He allowed a 3-run home run to Granderson in the middle of May against the Yankees. Chase Utley hit one off him 2 years ago in June of 09. A little over 2 years. 2 years and a week since he gave up that home run to Utley. And then the home run to Curtis Granderson. That's the pitch count so far. Drive going to be caught by Ben Zobrist. 2 up and 2 down.
Now let's take a look at David Price. Here it is. Power with the fastball. Heisey there to start the game. Votto, Rowland. I mean, he's spotting it up, and when he is missing, he's got so much good velocity on it that has that extra jump at the end, and he's able to get it past the bats of the Cincinnati hitters. So far, so good. 4 2/3 and the 6 strikeouts.
Now Johnny Gomes. Gomes fouled out on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball in the 2nd inning. Tries to get around early and fouls this one down the right side. That one in at 97. A strike. Hopper to shortstop and off the glove of Brignac into shallow left. In to make the pickup is Sam Fold, and Gomes is aboard. The ball sharply hit on one hop, and it skipped off the glove of Reed Brignac, who's going to be charged with his 7th error of the year.
Now that was a rocket shot. Right here, one hopper, and right off the wrist, back of the glove of Reed Brignac and into short left. That fastball hit far enough in front of him. He could have made that play, but it was sharply hit and had some hop on it.
So the Reds get their first base runner on the error. Here's Ramon Hernandez. Pitch inside, a breaking ball. 1 ball to no strikes. So Gomes at first base, reaching on the error. Two balls, no strikes. Well, here's a situation where Price, for the first time tonight, has to work from the stretch.
Yeah, and sometimes that can be difficult. I mean, you think about it. What time is it now? A little bit after 8 o'clock. He hasn't thrown out of the stretch with any kind of effort for over an hour. Sometimes it's tough to find the mechanics.
He drops this one in there for a strike. 2-1. He changed up a little bit right there. Was really just trying to get a strike, it seemed, out of the stretch. Toss to first on Gomes. He's back in. That will be strike 2.
Now another changeup there, David Price. A lot of off speed in this at bat to Hernandez. Started off with a couple of breaking balls, and then there's the 2-1 changeup. Evens the count at 2.
Now both strikes have come on the change of speed. Pitch inside a bit. Tried to buzz that fastball in there, and the count is full.
Well, every pitch up until that fastball, and you see it right here, just missing, was an off-speed pitch. Curveball and a couple of changeups. Tried to surprise him there with the fastball. He did, just didn't hit his spot.
So a full count. First full count. He did go 3-1 on Renteria in the third. Got him on a line drive to center. He's 3-2 now to Ramon Hernandez. And a ground ball. That's going to be past the diving Zobrist into right. Gomes will go to third, and the throw is not going to be in time. So Hernandez picks up a base hit just out of the reach of Ben Zobrist, and it's first and third with 2 gone.
Well, here it is, and that is an elevated changeup. That's the pitch that has hurt David Price this year, are the off-speed pitches away from the right-handers that have stayed up in the zone. And that's exactly what that pitch was. And after seeing a bunch of off-speed during the course of the at-bat, Ramon Hernandez right on that, shoots it in the hole. And now the Reds with runners on the corners.
It's a 1-0 game, and the Reds have 2 men aboard with 2 outs. Drew Stubbs, the center fielder, now in there. And he swings late on the 97-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, David Price is angry right now. Drew Stubbs is going to get the brunt end of that.
And a swing and a miss again, 0-2. More hard stuff. 2 fastballs hitting 95, 97. He struck him out on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball in the third and has gone 97 and 97 again here in the 5th inning. And did he go? Yes, he did. That fastball at 98. And the Cincinnati Reds are out in the 5th. No runs. A hit, an error, 2 left. Bottom of the 5th coming. Rays lead 1-0. arms, and it has been that. David Price not allowing a hit until the 5th inning, throwing a ton of fastballs, but he gave up the base hit on a changeup. He has 7 strikeouts tonight. Johnny Damon has given the Rays the only offense mustered by either club. A leadoff home run on a fastball to open the 4th inning. So the Rays have that 1 run on 1 hit, and the Reds have no runs on 1 hit. As Casey Kochman steps in, facing the right-hander Cueto. Ground ball, that's fair. Up the right field line and down beyond the bullpen. Bruce with the pickup. Kochman digs for 2, and he's in there with a double. Casey Kochman jumping on the first pitch has himself his 15th two-bagger of the year.
Yeah, I really thought that ball close to the line, thought Joey Votto was going to at least get a glove on it. Looked like he had put himself in pretty good position. This is our checkers double of the game. Once again, a fastball in. That ball was hit pretty hard and got past the outstretched glove of Votto.
Well, the Rays have a threat. Phillies have a 2-0 lead on the Red Sox. They're hitting in the bottom of the 4th inning. B.J. Upton. Pitch is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Dominic Brown hit a 2-run homer off Beckett, his 5th home run of the year. That came in the 2nd inning to give the Phillies their 2-0 lead. Want to know the count? This one is low. The Yankees off to a very fast start against Milwaukee tonight. They scored 2 in the 1st and 5 in the 2nd inning. They're batting in the 3rd, leading 7-0. Swisher a home run in that game for the Yankees. That's his 10th. Hot shot down to 3rd, and Rowland gloves it. Throw to 1st in time. BJ made good contact with that one, but at the wrong guy. He's got a whole room full of gold gloves.
Yeah, how about the reaction time? Quick hands. Get that right down there, make the play on a 1-hopper that was scalded by Upton. Yeah, Scott Rowland is the gold standard. Wow.
Still at second, Casey Kochman. Look at that. 6-time All-Star and 8 gold gloves. Jaso takes the pitch down. Cueto, 25 years old, out of the Dominican Republic. There's the strike. He was the first player for the Reds to make the major leagues coming out of their academy in the Dominican Republic. Number 3rd base side, charged by Rowland, and the throw to 1st is in time. So he had to come in on that one, but made the play. 2 outs.
Well, come early and stay late. On Sunday, July the 3rd, when the Rays host the St. Louis Cardinals, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under receive this DJ Kitty puppet, Chevrolet, and then stay after the game and catch the Wiggles as they kick off their North American tour at Tropicana Field. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets now. A little double dip action.
All kinds of activity with the Cardinals in this weekend. Spold with a ground ball to 3rd. The Rays testing the wrong guy on the infield. Roland Votto, no runs. Leadoff double. The man is left. On to the 6th, 1-0 Rays.
Well, if Rays pitchers strike out 10 batters in a home game, you can take your ticket stub to any Cane's Furniture store and get a coupon for a free Papa John's pizza. Plus, while you're there, you can sign up for a chance to meet one of your favorite Rays players. Cane's, quality so good, it's guaranteed for life. And
David
more.
Price well on his way to a double-digit strikeout performance. 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. And the first pitch in the 6th is a strike call. Edgar Renteria at the plate. Renteria lined to center his first time. The strike on the outer part of the plate. Renteria, 35 years old. Boy, what a part he played in that. World Series, the MVP for the Giants. Now still 2 strikes. At 276 last year for the Giants and a little over 70 games for them. And then at 412 in the World Series. Count still 0-2. 2 home runs and drove in 6 runs and earned the MVP honors of the series. It's 1-2 against him to lead off the 6th. Renteria originally came up with the Florida Marlins and then spent some good years with the Cardinals in St. Louis. 2-2. Spent a year in Boston, a couple of years with the Braves, and then to Detroit, San Francisco, and now Cincinnati. He's leading off the 6th inning tonight against David Price. And that is strike 3 call. Fastball. Renteria has a word with Joe West. Strikeout number 8.
Now changing speeds, moving the ball around against Renteria. And then how about that? How about 95 right on the inside corner? Say what you will, but that is a perfect pitch.
And there's not a thing he can do with it either, except really take it.
And hope it's a ball.
Nice. He puts down the bunt, and it's foul. Strike 1.
Yeah, Heisey figuring out pretty quick that the swinging thing's not working.
And and he's the kind of guy who will do that. He'll bunt. It's not surprising to see him do that, and he's really a guy the Reds think can hit enough and can play all over the place. A swing and a miss. 0-2.
Probably should go back and try that bunt with 2 strikes right here. Might be your best chance. This ball just absolutely blown right by him. You see the swing underneath the ball, and the speed beat him anyway.
And he's out on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts here. A fastball at 97. 9 strikeouts tonight for David Price.
And that's one thing that you can recognize when you're out on the mound, is when you're beating somebody with the fastball. David Price knew the pitch before that he blew right by Heisey. Look at this. I mean, that is a defensive swing on a ball away from you, and the velocity is just by. I mean, it's just by him. Just getting flat out beat with the heat.
Now Brandon Phillips. The pitch is a strike. Contentious conversation going with Joe West. Reds have had some issues trying to make contact tonight with Price. That's a foul ball back. 0-2. The other thing that could have been happening there between West and Phillips is that Joe West was merely wishing him a happy 30th birthday. Could have happened.
That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
However unlikely as it may be.
This one stroked into right center field. That's going to bounce to the wall and hit the 370 marker. Phillips in at second with a stand-up double. An 0-2 fastball, and he found the gap with it. Hit number 2 allowed by Price.
Now Brandon Phillips here down in the count, and he gets a ball that finds its way to the middle of the plate. You see Jaso again, like Hernandez earlier, reaching back across the plate. David Price wanted that ball down and away. We talked about how deadly he is out there, but that pitch found its way to the middle. And Phillips looking out over the plate, down in the count, looking to take the ball the other way. He got a good one to hit, put a good swing on it, and shot that ball out into the gap.
Well, this could be one of those game situations here in the 6th inning. In a 1-0 game now, and Joey Votto is the hitter. He's had a tough time with Price tonight, but you know how good a hitter this guy is. And he swings trying to catch up to the fastball. Strike 1. He's the reigning MVP from the National League a year ago when he drove in 113 runs and hit 37 home runs. Well, that pitch pretty close, and the count is 1-1. Votto leads the National League in hitting against left-handers. He's hitting .375 against lefties. But he's had a tough time tonight with Price.
Well,
which is understandable.
Yeah, he's not your average everyday left-hander. He's a special breed, and the swings have not been comfortable.
2 balls and a strike. Price got him looking on a pitch away on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball in the first, and then he got him swinging when he missed strike 3 on a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. That came in the 4th. He's batting here in the 6th. 2-2. That's the pitch that struck him out the last time up in that location.
Yeah, and I think Joey Votto there figures he's had pretty good command tonight. 2-1 fastball. I'm going to bet that it's over the plate. You see him trying to hold up on the swing when he recognized it was away, but too late.
2-2. Inside. So a full count. That fastball hit 98. He's had a handful of those at 98. And he walks Votto. So a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. That'll put runners at first and second with 2 outs, and we'll get Jim Hickey out of the dugout and to the mound. Price just over 80 pitches. Just a reminder, tonight's game brought to you in part by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit geico.com today. Well, a 1-0 game. The only run came in the 4th when Johnny Damon hit his 9th home run of the season. With 2 outs in the 5th, the Reds managed to eventually put men at first and third. Stubbs struck out to end that. Now here in the 6th inning with 2 outs, they have men at first and second. And Scott Rowland, the veteran third baseman, will bat. Pitch is away. Off the plate. A ball and no strikes. Take a look at this.
Yeah, pretty good pitch here by Price.
High foul. That's going to tail back into the stands. 1-1. Well, the Rays could not score last night. So far tonight, they've given Price only 1 run. And that's the difference in the game to this point as the Reds threaten for the 2nd straight inning. And a foul again up the right side, out of play. That'll run the count to a ball and 2 strikes.
Both of those fastballs, Scott Rowland just a little bit tardy. You can understand with the velocity. Balls were away from him.
And a foul back. He challenged him with that fastball, and Rowland got a piece of it, fouling it back.
And he had a better swing. That one, a much better swing on that fastball than the 2 previous. This was an aggressive swing. This ball was up, maybe out of the zone. He took a rip.
Low.
I think David Price sensed the same thing as that at bat went on. More fastballs in a row. The swing, that last swing was pretty good, so he tries to come there with the backdoor cutter and throws it right into the ground.
Well, this will be his 25th pitch of the inning coming. 2-2. 2 men on, 2 men out. And a foul ball again on a fastball at 96. So it's a battle now with Rowland, the 36-year-old third baseman, and David Price. Upstairs. Now the count goes 4.
Now the Reds will have their runners moving. Full count here, 2 outs.
Strikeouts of Renteria and Heisey started the inning. Phillips doubled on an 0-2 fastball. Votto walked. Now the 3-2 to Roland, and he fouls it again. The veteran Roland really battling here against David Price.
Yeah, and David Price has to be careful. That was a changeup. That was the same pitch that got hit hard earlier in the game by Ramon Hernandez. Watch this. This changeup just stays flat and up in the zone. 83 miles an hour. Lucky that was just a foul ball.
This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat coming. Runners go. The pitch is hit on the ground is short. Grindiak's throw to first in there, and that will retire Cincinnati. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. Bottom of the 6th coming. 1-0 Rays.
Sixth, Rays still up by a run. Start your weekend at Friday Fest, presented by Captain Morgan. On Friday, July the 1st, when the Rays host the Cardinals, the first 10,000 fans get a collectible Matt Joyce t-shirt presented by the St. Petersburg Times. Visit RaysBaseball.com to get your tickets now.
Yeah, there's Matt Joyce, featuring that sweet swing this year to the tune of .313 coming into this game, 7th leading hitter in the National League. Rays will have Reed Brindiak, Johnny Damon, and then Ben Zobrist due up. Maybe deeper would be Longoria and maybe Joyce. Cueto's first pitch, and Brindiak takes that for a strike. Upstairs, Reed struck out swinging on a fastball his first time. Be one of 4 strikeouts recorded by Cueto. It's 2-1. Nice cut at that fastball, and the count goes to 2-2. Brewers batting in the top of the 5th. They have scored a couple runs in the 4th, and in the 5th they bat, trailing New York 7-2. Brindiak lifts it into center field, going to stay up for Stubbs, who runs under it, makes the catch. The Phillies have scored another run on Boston. It's 3-0 Philadelphia. Cliff Lee drove in that run. Dominic Brown, who had a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning, scored on a sacrifice fly by Lee, and it's 3-0 Phillies. 1-0 the count to Johnny Damon. Two and 0. Strike at the knees. Here's a look at Damon's home run. Cueto comes in off the plate this time, and it's 3-1. Runs continue to be at a premium for the Rays at home. Line drive, and it's going to be caught by Phillips. That line drive really caught Phillips as much as he caught in.
Well, Johnny Damon seeing the ball well off Cueto. He's in a 3-1 count. Figures he's getting the fastball. He put a good swing on it. This happened. This was a rocket, though. That look will tell you everything.
Two outs for Ben Zobrist. Ben is 0 for 2.
Geared up for that mid-90s fastball, and he gets the upper 80s cutter.
One ball, one strike. Foul ball runs it to 1-2. Cueto approaching the mid-70s in pitch count. Price is up to 90 through 6. Bouncing ball foul. And Zobrist, a couple of hits yesterday. 2 doubles. He leads the major leagues in that department. 27 two-base hits. And he's behind in the count against Cueto. Most doubles he's ever had in a single season is 28. There's 27 already. And 28 in 2009 and 28 again last year. Cueto just wanted to check to make sure he knew what the count was. It's 1-2. And Zobrist is out on strikes. 1, 2, 3 go the Rays. We go to the 7th. It's 1-0 Rays.
Getaway text poll question of the evening. It involves the Reds. Who is the greatest player in Cincinnati Reds history? Yeah, that guy, number 20, Frank Robinson, TB1. TB2 for the catcher, Johnny Bench. TB3 for the hits leader, Pete Rose. TB4 for Antonio Perez. And TB5 for Barry Larkin. Text your votes to 789-789. Standard message and data rates apply. We'll have the results in our Rays Live postgame show. Gentlemen.
The most underrated on that list would be, and that's Tony Perez. First pitch here in the 7th inning, and Jay Bruce fouls it back. Strike one. Boy, Perez was such an important part of that Big Red machine, overshadowed by the likes of Bench and Morgan and Foster, all those other great hitters they had. But it seemed that every time they needed a clutch base hit, Tony Perez drove in the run. 2 strikes the count to Bruce. Gomes to follow, and then Hernandez. David Price with 9 strikeouts. He's walked 1. Has allowed 2 hits. Foul ball. What he's done so far through 6 innings against this club is quite an accomplishment. They lead the National League in runs scored. They're 3rd in home runs. There's some hitters on this Cincinnati team.
That really is what defines this Cincinnati team. They're near the bottom on the pitching end of things, but really driven by their offense. You're right, Dwayne. Very powerful. A lot of trouble throughout.
1-2 pitch popped up. Longoria from third base makes the catch. That'll be the first out in the 7th inning.
I'll get exclusive deals and coupons delivered right to your phone with the free TampaBay.com/things-to-do iPhone app powered by the St. Petersburg Times. It's available now at the iTunes App Store.
Look at all of this offense for the Reds, averaging almost 5 runs a game. Tops in the National League in that department.
How about this one right here? Almost 300 average against lefties.
Big cut and a miss by Gomes. Strike one.
And that's with 2 of their more productive power hitters hitting from the left side. But it goes back to what you were talking about with Joey Votto being.
Yeah, he's hitting .375 against lefties. A strike.
That's just being disciplined within your mechanics and your approach, keeping that front side locked in there, not pulling off the ball.
You know, and then Bruce, who just popped out, he was hitting .292 against left-handed pitching. Price let it fly, and it was a little wide. 1 ball and 2 strikes. His 100th pitch is about to be made. That will not be a pitch. Time had been called, granted to Gomes. Well, the Mets having a big night in Detroit. Tigers now coming in to bat in the bottom of the 5th. And the Mets lead 13-0. Jason Bay and Carlos Beltran both have hit grand slams. This will be pitch number 100. And it's outside. One out in the 7th. Price coming off a 120 pitch outing in Milwaukee. And a cut and a miss. Gomes is out on strikes. That is strikeout number 10. Double figures here as David Price strikes out Gomes.
Out for the 4th time this year and in back-to-back starts. Double-digit strikeouts, and he gets it on a changeup of all things. Johnny Gomes geared for the hard stuff. He had missed with a curveball he tried to get out there, left it off the plate away, then comes back with a changeup, and there you go.
There's Ramon Hernandez. The pitch is a strike. A little curveball. He stayed with the off-speed stuff. The Ramon Hernandez, to the point where he gave up the first base hit to him in the 5th inning.
Yeah, and by the way that he's approaching him, I guarantee you Jim Hickey's scouting report said dead red fastball hitter never gets off the fastball. And that's exactly how he's pitching him. Tons of off speed. There was a changeup. Curveball changeup. That doesn't mean that guy can be a good fastball hitter. Doesn't mean you don't throw one to him.
Down with one.
We just made pitch him backwards, off speed early, then fastball late. Or if you've got your good command that night, you just locate it. You know he wants to swing at it. You put it in a good pitcher spot and get it out.
1-2, a little ground ball to second base. Had him reaching on the off speed. Hernandez is out. So are the Cincinnati Reds. 7th inning stretch. Rays 1, Reds nothing.
Spigot's been turned off. It's been aggravating. I don't know what the difference is. We go on the road and all of a sudden, first inning, we're popping the ball over the place, and we come here and it's very minimal hard contact and some. I don't get it. We just have to do better in this ballpark. We got to get near that 50 win kind of a thing that we've had in the past, and that's gotten us over the top and put you in the playoffs.
Good old-fashioned pitchers duel tonight, and there you see the Rays home versus road, 3.1 runs per game to 5.2 on the road. With that shutout yesterday, they now could go 29 consecutive games on the road being shut out, and their average would still be better on the road than at home. Let's see what they can do here, guys, with a 1-0 lead. Back to you.
All right, Todd, thank you very much. I wondered what had happened to that planking young lad. Fresh off a yoga invitation. I hope he takes Laura up on that. Pitch is low and outside to Evan Longoria.
He was a little fatigued after taking over the first 3 innings, I believe, of the game.
High fly ball back into left. Heisey not yet to the track is there and makes the catch. And Evan is the first out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. A 1-0 ball game here. The Rays scored their run in the 4th on the Johnny Damon home run. Phillies have taken a 5-0 lead over Boston. Game now in the top of the 7th inning. Shane Victorino hit a 2-run home run. Pitch inside to Matt Joyce. Here it's Johnny Cueto against David Price. And a dandy of a pitching matchup. That's a foul ball, and the count is 1-1. You know, Joe Madden was talking about the Rays' lack of offense and their problems they've had at home. They're trying to get back to 500 at home, and they've not been over 500 at home all year.
Hard to imagine the last 3 years watching this ball club in this building.
The popper to the left side. Renteria's out there, and so the bases are empty with 2 gone.
Well, fans, be sure to tune in on Friday, July the 1st for the 2011 Rays broadcast auction to benefit the Rays Baseball Foundation and the Tampa General Hospital Children's Medical Center. The Rays will auction off one-of-a-kind experiences with your favorite Rays players, including hitting lessons with Johnny Damon, exclusive ticket packages, a trip to the All-Star Game, and more. And don't forget, you can go on to RaysBaseball.com starting today. Strike one. RaysBaseball.com/broadcast auctions. You can preview the auction items, and also you can buy tickets to the Joe Madden Summer Social, which you don't want to miss. And
yeah, and do that because it's first come, first serve, and there are a limited number for that event, and it has turned out to be a very popular event hosted by Joe Madden.
We've already snatched up the first 10, Dwayne and I. Me more so that I have people to talk with, socialize with. I got friends.
The pitch up and in, and Kochman danced out of there.
So in other words, hurry up.
Yep. 2 balls and a strike to count. Kochman with some quick footwork to get out of there.
Well, Johnny Cueto, good fastball, and we've documented, it's been well documented actually, that he loves to pitch in.
Ground ball right side. Phillips retreating to the outfield, and the throw to first against the hustling Casey Kochman to retire the side. We're through 7, 1-0 Tampa Bay. Brought to you by Subway. Eat fresh. Coventry Healthcare of Florida. Lighting the way to better health. And by your local Southern Ford dealers. Lightning our way into the 8th inning here. Rays have a 1-0 lead. David Price has made 105 pitches. He's going to face Drew Stubbs to lead off the 8th. The pitch is upstairs. A ball, no strikes. Price with 10 strikeouts tonight. 1 walk, and he's now given up 3 hits. There's a shot to center field. Upton will go back to the track. He will have that one pop off the top of the wall and carry him back into center, and it's going to be a leadoff triple. Stubbs with his second triple of the year off the center field wall. And for a time, it appeared that Upton might actually get back there. We've seen him run those down, and that ball got just over his head and off the wall.
Well, it looked like BJ was timing this. Look at him. He's kind of coasting, watching, feel for the wall, and jump, and he just comes up empty. And usually when you see BJ get to this part, that ball got on him quick. You saw as the jump came. Watch the ball. As he starts the jump, it's almost already by him. Right here, there's the ball.
It's a great shot tracking Upton after that ball. So now big trouble. A man at third, and the infield's going to have to come in. Second time tonight the Reds have put a runner as far as third base. And there's a line drive into left. It's going to be a base hit falling in front of Bull, and the game is tied. Renteria jumped on a fastball and lines it into left, and it's now 1-1.
Well, Renteria always very clutch. Dwayne, you talked about his exploits in the World Series for the Giants, and then here you go. The drawn in infield, and that's a poorly located fastball. That's belt high right out over the plate. He's just looking to get something into the outfield, and he got a gift on the fastball there.
Well, Jim Hickey heads to the mound. The Rays have had some action in the bullpen with the right-hander Peralta and the left-hander Howell. And now the Rays spent some time on the mound talking things out. Renteria is the runner at first in a tie game with nobody out. And Heisey will be the hitter, and he can bunt.
Well, we've seen his swing against David Price tonight. It has not been pretty, so I would certainly expect that, and I think that's why Hickey, pitching coach Jim Hickey, went to the mound to say, hey, listen, this guy has not been swinging the bat well off you. You guys be ready for the bunt. Make sure everybody's on the same page with the play.
And he bunts, and it's foul.
Well, and that bunt right there was not very picturesque. Really jabbed at that ball down in the zone, threw his bat at it. Watch him jab. Yeah. That's a lap in spring training. Go touch the pole of wisdom. We'll come back and do it again.
Well, let's see if it gets any better on any future attempts. First, and no indication. Longoria in on the turf at third. Going to bunt and puts it down the first base side, and that's going to roll foul. Grabbed immediately by Kochman. So a couple of bunt attempts and a couple of foul balls. That one up the first base line. 2 strikes the count.
Let's see this. This ball's elevated. Well, even there, he's just kind of wincing. That's why you saw him bring the angle back as that ball got close to him, and that's why he opened up the angle. The ball goes foul. Got to set your angle, use your knees to go up and down in the strike zone, and you try to catch the baseball with the bat. A lot easier said than done, but this is something that these guys are working on or should be working on daily, especially in the National League.
Yeah, there's a lot more of that goes on in the National League. But try to bunt against David Price with that hard stuff up. That's tough. Swing and a miss. Heisey's out on strikes. He got down trying to bunt 2 strikes. And his strikeout number 11 on that fastball that blew right by him.
Well, we've seen this story all night long with Heisey. The fastball above the bat. Just blows it right by him once again. Yeah, Dwayne, I can remember trying to bunt off of Kevin Brown with the Dodgers. And I would typically bunt just 3 in a row right over to the on-deck circle in front of the Dodger dugout. With that little sinker at 95. Like, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and that could be a hard sinker, too.
Oh, it was extremely hard and late, and he would turn his back on you.
Phillips out in front of a first pitch changeup. Brandon Phillips doubled in the 6th, and here is that changeup.
Yeah, that was David Price's best changeup of the night. Really had Brandon Phillips out in front looking to drive a baseball. Good pitch selection, better execution.
Yeah, he drove the fastball into right center field with a 2-base hit in the 6th. It's 1-1 now. Brandon Phillips, $299 for the year. A triple by Stubbs and a base hit on the very next pitch. Renteria singled home the tying run. He's at first with 1 out. Front again. I tell you, he's gone to that pitch twice, and 2 good ones here to Phillips.
Well, he understands. You know, we talked last night with Jeremy Hellickson against Brandon Phillips. Probably going to see a lot of off speed. He's very aggressive. It's late in the game. It's a tie ball game. He's already driven one to the wall. He's got the visions of grandeur working. Guys that aggressive, that pitch right there becomes a great equalizer. That's why it's got the nickname and cliche, if you will.
Swing and a miss, and he gets Phillips. 3 changeups, strikes him out. That is strikeout number 12, and that equals his career high. He had 12 strikeouts against Cleveland, 12 against Cincinnati tonight.
Well, and these changeups here that he threw to Brandon Phillips in this at bat, probably his best changeups of the night in succession.
2 gone, and here's Joey Votto. Things just don't get easier in this lineup. He fouls the fastball back, strike 1. Votto, not only is he hitting .375 against left-handed pitching, but this guy with men in scoring position has hit over 400, 423 coming into the game.
An extremely clutch performer.
And strike 2.
That's why it was so big for David Price to pick up that strikeout of Heisey after the 2 missed butt attempts. Blow that fastball by him, so no opportunity to move Renteria into scoring position for Phillips and Votto.
Got Votto looking in the 1st, swinging in the 4th. He walked him in the 6th. The 0-2, the runner takes off. The pitch is wide, and the throw is not in time. Stolen base for Renteria. He managed to hang on to the bag. Renteria's 4th stolen base. So the Reds steal a base.
You know, the throw here by Jaso right on the money, just a little bit behind. You wonder if that tag stayed on him, because Renteria, the left foot, let's see if he gets him after the foot comes off the bag. Well, that's a tough angle. There was a moment there with the arm, before the arm hit second base, the leg came off, but that's all moot now.
1-2, and it's hit toward the corner. That's going to be over the head of Fold on 1 hop to the wall. The run will score. The throw comes all the way to Kochman back towards second base. And so Renteria scores on the double by Joey Votto to make it a 2-1 game.
And the problems for David Price with runners in scoring position continue.
Votto, who's been so good with men in scoring position and very good against left-handed pitching, doubles into the left field corner to give Cincinnati a 2-1 lead, and that's going to be it for Dave tonight. He'll depart trailing 2-1 after this RBI double. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Metro PCS. right-handed bat of Scott Rowland. And he will face him with a runner in scoring position. Joey Votto has just driven in the go-ahead run. Now the ball pops away, and a quick move up to third by Votto. Boy, I'm telling you, that's some heads-up base running and a nice scoop down at third base by Longoria.
Yeah, a couple things there. You're right. Joey Votto, heads-up base running. John Jaso, ill-advised throw. This ball gets away from him, and he does a turn blind throw. Not going to get him. And Evan Longoria saves his behind with a nice scoop there, glove side.
Want to know the count now to Rowland. It's a wild pitch charge to Peralta. And Votto very heads up, and that ball's popped away. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. It's a 2-1 game right now. See the numbers on Peralta. That'll be a strike at the knees. 1-2. Trying to limit the damage. Leadoff triple, and then the base hit by Stubbs and Renteria. They both score. Swing and a miss. Scott Rowland's out on strikes. The split got him. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's now 2-1 Cincinnati.
Over the Rays. Mosaic Company and the Rays are working together to end hunger through home runs for food. With each Rays home run, Mosaic donates $500 to Feeding America Tampa Bay. So far, $37,500 has been donated.
Well, Johnny Damon has provided the Rays with their only run tonight. It's 2-1, and B.J. Upton will open the bottom of the 8th. Jaso and Full to follow. Cueto's pitch is a called strike to B.J. Price struck out 12. He walked 1, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits in 7 2/3. He made 119 pitches. Renteria, big hit. And then Votto behind in the count, 1-2, hit one into the corner and left. That chased home the go-ahead run with Renteria scoring. And Upton is out on strikes. Slider got him, and he's out on 3 pitches.
And that one hung up in the zone a little bit. Almost looked more like the cutter, but had the speed of the slider. You see this ball just hangs, and just is able to get over the bat a BJ. When you strike out a hitter, whether it be on the cutter or the slider, you want it to be below the bat, not above.
Here's John Jaso. 1 ball, no strikes. Kyle Farnsworth starting to loosen for the Rays in the bullpen. It's a 2-0 count. Farnsworth has been very good for the Rays. And a line drive base hit into right field. Jaso picks up his first hit, a 1-out single. The Rays have just 3 hits. They're all big now here in the bottom of the 8th, and Jaso's going to leave for a pinch runner. So Jaso is lifted, and that's going to be Ruggiano to run for him. So Justin Ruggiano is the runner. 1 on, 1 out for Sam Fole. Rays have been out hit 6-3, and they trailed 2-1. Ball, no strikes. Cole looks at a strike around the knees. 1-1. He's got the home run from David in the 4th, a double from Kochman in the 5th, and a single by Jaso in this inning. And there's a base hit up the middle off the bat of Sam Fole. Ruggiano, the pinch runner, stops at second. So the Rays with runners at first and second and 1 out.
Last night, the Reds were very effective on that backdoor breaking ball to Sam Fole, getting him to roll that over to second base. Sam makes a nice adjustment here, stays back on it nicely, doesn't get out in front, and hits it right back up the middle. Got to tip your hat there to Sam Fole for making the adjustment to what the Cincinnati Reds are trying to do to him.
Well, a meeting on the mound. Brian Price, the pitching coach out there, and the Reds starting to get some action in their bullpen. As we mentioned, Farnsworth has been throwing for the Rays up the right field line, and while the Reds talk it over, they get some action brewing down there. Massett and Bray are up. And now Andrusek is up. Logan Andrusek. Reed Brignac. Tapper foul. Strike 1. Brignac takes one off the plate end. It's 1-1. It's going to be foul back to third. Advances the count to 1-2.
Well, right here, Johnny Cueto, look for that slider. Got to have a lot of faith in your catcher if you're going to throw that thing low to the ground. Ramon Hernandez very good back there, but he loves to go to that slider with 2 strikes. And after that fastball in on Brignac, has him set up for it.
This one is slicing toward the line, but Heisey's there to make the catch. That'll be the second out. Two outs, 2 men on. Johnny Damon due to be the hitter, and Dusty Baker is headed to the mound. The Rays manager's going to go to the bullpen. We'll be back in just a moment with a new pitcher for Cincinnati. By Checkers, feast on. And by Quick Creek, it's what America's made of. Bill Bray's going to be the new pitcher. Cueto out after 7 2/3. He made 97 pitches and is responsible for a couple of men on as he departs.
But Johnny Cueto very good tonight, as advertised.
Johnny Damon to face Bray.
Bill Bray already on for the 41st time. 26 in the 3rd innings. An average of 157.
And the pitch is a strike. Bray, 28 years old, out of College of William and Mary. Pitch, slider running away, and it's 0-2.
That was a really good slider, and I think that look on Johnny Damon's face will tell you. First pitch looked like he cut a fastball just a little bit, but then really yanks the slider here. Look at that. That goes right off the end of Johnny Damon's bat.
It's away.
Yeah, that's a good pitch selection there by Bray. If a guy's willing to swing at a slider off the plate like that, you go out a little bit further, see how far he's willing to go.
Rays have been out hit by 2. They have 2 men on with 2 men out. 1-2 the count. Damon fouls one back.
But he got a good one to hit there. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. They wanted it in, which is a pretty good call there after getting him leaning away. But look where this ends up. Right down Broadway.
Well, they say you get 1 pitch to hit per at bat. The Rays are hoping that Damon will get another one like that. Pitch down and away. 2-2.
Boy, tough pitch to lay off of here. He does, convincingly.
Ruggiano's on second. Fold is on first. 2-2 and a little pop-up. Short left center. Renteria out. That ball's going to drop. Base hit. Here comes Ruggiano. Fold is going to try to score. He crosses the plate. Johnny Damon drops one just out of the reach of Renteria, Heisey, and Stubbs. And Heisey got a glove on it. The Rays score 2, and they'll take a 3-2 lead. Johnny Damon, with all 3 runs batted in, he winds up at second as he drops it in there, chasing home Ruggiano and Fold.
How about that? Johnny Damon just trying to put the ball in play, make the defense make a play. This ball just flared right into no man's land. Heisey, a late dive, cannot come up with it, and as the ball bounces away, Tom Foley very aggressive down there. Sending Sam Fold, who's got good speed. He scores easily.
Well, you saw the Rays dugout, a number of future third base coaches down there waving the runner home as Ruggiano scored to tie it and Fold scored to give the Rays a lead. So Johnny Damon, who homered in the 4th, drops a double into left center field, driving home 2 more in the 8th. It's 3-2 Tampa Bay. Here's Ben Zobrist hitting from the right side. Ball, no strikes.
Now Johnny Damon put a good at bat. Didn't make great contact, but didn't need to. He was down in the count. Bray's got nasty stuff.
Both runs charged to Cueto. Two 2-0 the count. Zobrist looking for his first hit. So Cueto left just moments ago thinking he might be on his way to a win. Well, that's out of the picture, and now he's still the pitcher of record with the Rays leading the Reds 3-2. 2-1 the count on Ben Zobrist. Zobrist pops it back at first. Votto chasing it, but it's going to be out of his reach. And the count goes to 2-2. The Rays led 1-0 until the top of the 8th. And the Reds took the lead 2-1, and the Rays have scored 2 in the bottom of the 8th to make it 3-2. Zobrist is out on strikes. The Rays are finished in the 8th, but they take the lead. 2 runs, 3 hits, and it's 3-2 Tampa Bay.
authority of the Tampa Bay Rays and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Tampa Bay Rays.
Rays lead 3-2 as we now go into the ninth inning. Johnny Damon homered in the fourth and dropped his two-base hit into left center field in the bottom of the eighth to give the Rays a 3-2 lead. Well, he's hit one deep to right. He hit one hard and he hit one soft. And the Rays have 3 runs driven home by Johnny Damon. Kyle Farnsworth, the new pitcher. Jay Bruce leads it off, and the pitch is away. Kelly Shoppick in there behind the plate now. Cut and a miss. So Price worked 7 2/3. Peralta worked a third. And now it's in the hands of Kyle Farnsworth. 2-1. Farnsworth picked up a save Saturday in Houston, his 16th. He also pitched the final inning in Houston on Sunday in that 14-10 game. The Rays used just about everybody they had, 21 players in that game. 2-2 the count. Full count. Gomes next. Johnny Gomes on deck. 3-2 and a high fly ball deep to center field. Upton will go back to the wall and it's gone. 3-2 pitch hit out of here to dead center field. Jay Bruce hits his 18th home run of the year, and this game is tied. It's 3-3.
Now Kyle Farnsworth couldn't get the split finger. Couldn't get Jay Bruce to chase that split. Forced to come over with the fastball, and that's just right down the middle. I mean, that was a full count fastball. Here it is, hit it. Well, he did. A long way to center field, and this ball game knotted back up.
So it's a 3-3 contest. It's Johnny Gomes. The pitch is a strike. It's a little bit wide. 1-1. Upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Gomes 0 for 6 lifetime against Farnsworth with 3 strikeouts. Farnsworth is behind him 3-1. That's a strike. Full count. Three-two and a cut to miss. So he strikes out Gomes. Just a little late movement got him.
Now watch this cutter really take off. right off the end of the bat.
The Rays with 14 strikeouts tonight, 12 for Price, 1 for Peralta, now 1 for Farnsworth. Ramon Hernandez. It's a ground ball toward the middle. Picked up by Brignac. He gets up and throws. He got him. Reed Brignac, a nice play, stretching out to come up with the ball at short. He picked himself up and throws out Hernandez at first.
Well, let's take a look at our Home Depot doing more on defense here by Reed Brignac. Ramon Hernandez, a bid for a base hit up the middle. The nice dive, but then you got to get up, make the throw quickly. Half a step. Nice play.
Stubbs. Pitch to him is inside. 1-0. Stubbs with a couple strikeouts, and then he opened the 8th with a triple. It's 2-0. It's going to be a base hit into right. Couple hops to Joyce. So a fastball in the mid to upper 90s right there, and Stubbs dropped it into right field.
Yeah, just kind of pushed that ball out there. Squirted it out into right field, and now it's not a matter of if, but when Stubbs is going to take off and try to steal second base.
Well, he's 23 out of 26 in that department. We saw some of his speed last night. Swiped the base in the 6th inning last night. Farnsworth goes over to Kochman with a toss. Pitch blown away. Renteria singled home the first Cincinnati run. Scored their second run. Top of the 9th, tied 3-3. Farnsworth, the third Rays pitcher. Quick move to first. Stubbs back in. Both bullpens are busy. It's Juan Cruz up in the Rays bullpen. Francisco Cordero. Listening. There goes the runner. The pitch is a strike, and the throw. One hops in, and he is out at second base. Shopik, one hop to throw. Zobrist made the pickup and the tag, and Stubbs is out of there. We're going to head into the bottom of the 9th. This game is tied 3-3. Top half of the inning ends on the caught stealing. It was tied on the home run by Bruce. 3-3, middle of 9.
Of the ninth inning, the 4 greatest moments in MLB All-Star Game history are going head-to-head to determine which is the most memorable of all time. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite midsummer classics. And then tune in to the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game on Tuesday, July the 12th at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific here on Fox to find out who the big winner will be.
We're going to go to the bottom of the ninth in this one, and the tall right-hander Logan Ondrusek is on for the 38th time.
ERA 1.64.
And the pitch to Longoria is a strike. Evan 0 for 3 tonight. And there's a shot hit deep to left. Back and gone. An 0-1 pitch. Longoria lines it out of here to left. And the Rays win it 4-3. Second pitch of the ninth inning. Longoria hit a line drive to left that made it over the wall for his 10th home run of the year. And the Rays win it in the bottom of the ninth on a walk-off homer off the bat of Evan Longoria. When Longoria hits, the Rays win, and when he doesn't, they don't. Tonight, he hits the game-winning home run in the bottom of the ninth inning. It's 4-3, the final here at Tropicana Field.
Now this ball meant to go to the outside corner. It stays out over the middle of the plate, and Evan Longoria, batting gloves back on, big swing, ball game.
So these two clubs battling it right down to the bottom of the ninth inning. It got interesting in the 8th and the 9th. The Rays led 1-0. Cincinnati scored 2 in the 8th. The Rays 2 in the 8th. Cincinnati 1 in the 9th to tie, and the Rays, the home run by Evan Longoria in the bottom of the 9th to win this game 4-3. Farnsworth will get the win. Ondrusek, the losing pitcher. Home runs tonight by Damon and Longoria for the Rays. Jay Bruce hit one to tie it in the top of the 9th. Evan Longoria hits one to win it in the bottom of the 9th, and Todd Callis is with Evan right now.
Dwayne, thanks. What a pitcher's duel it was for a while. Johnny Cueto, David Price. He knew it was going to come down to the wire, and you were able to come through. That's a big blast.
Yeah, I mean, just, to see the effort that Price gave us today go to waste, I think would have been a shame. He really pitched his tail off, and, caps off to Cueto, too. I mean, he kept us at bay for a long time. And, it was Johnny's game for the most part until that last inning. But that's a good win.
Always fun to walk it off. Tell us what you saw there with the second pitch of the AB.
I mean, we don't see these guys very often, but just going off of the scouting report, I mean, I knew cutter was his primary pitch. I know it was a cutter. I think he obviously made a mistake over the middle of the plate, and just my swing's coming back. It feels a little better. And just, really tried to stay in the game throughout the course of it, and it paid off today.
When you have a game like this, and it was a crowd that was pretty much into it the whole way, after a game last night, which you guys would like to forget, important to come right back, and especially, against a tough guy like Cueto, get a W.
We've really been trying to figure out the mystery of us at home. I mean, we play so well on the road, and it confuses all of us why we don't really play well here, and we're trying to figure it out. And I mean, today's a huge game for us.
I know you said I can't understand why so much attention is being paid to the batting gloves, but I have to ask you: the batting gloves stay now?
They're off and on, man. Obviously, you got to ride the wave, and it worked today with them on. So,
congratulations, Logo. Thanks.
Thank you.
Evan Longoria, guys, walking it off for the Rays.
Well, the Rays are winners. Bottom of the 9th home run by Evan Longoria. 4-3, and the Rays go to 10 games over 500. They are again at the 500 mark at home with a victory tonight over Cincinnati. For Brian Anderson and Todd Callis, this is Dwayne Stats. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast. We'll be with you tomorrow at 11:30 for our coverage beginning the final game of this series. Rays Live, the post game, comes your way next. We'll see you there.